disingenuous now. Hello, welcome to Comedy Arcade, everybody. I don't know what to do with this. This doesn't normally happen. Like, if you like this, you're going to love the rest, honestly. This is just admin at this point. Right, now, normally I want honesty in the room, but we've got Next Up in. So with that in mind, who here has listened to the Comedy Arcade podcast before? Oh my God, all of you. Incredible. My listener figures do not agree. For the people who, obviously you all listen to it die hard and have since last October. Yeah, good. Oh, nice call and response. This is brilliant. For the people who might have forgotten, because that happens, you fall off a boat, a man picks you up, you pretend that they're your wife, like that happens. That is sad. Did I just reference Overboard? That is a very current reference. This is what you can expect tonight. Now, I have got a bingo ball in front of me full of topics. The people that are close to the front will see that it's actually sellotaped closed. That's because I can't be trusted with these balls. Oi. There used to be more balls in here. is a long story short. I've got random categories in there. I've got 4 fabulous personalities that I'm about to introduce. I'm going to give them the category. They're going to tell me their best anecdote, joke, or interpretive dance, because it's a visual medium tonight, because Next Up, and I know Rish Wilson is really good for it, so... And how it works, I score them points based on the thing that I like the best. It is that capricious. I can be bought. I can be bribed. And I bear grudges. I bear grudges a long time. So if you were late this evening, and one of you guests knows you are, you're starting on negative points. Right. I'm drunk with power. Right, without further ado, let's introduce our first guest. She is the magnificent Queen of Quiz. You'll know her as a firebrand redhead with all the knowledge. We just know her as Jenny, who is also a hilarious person who has been on more ridiculous bad dates than I have ever heard in my life. It is Jenny Ryan, everybody.
Everyone's like, who is that? She's not red hair. Oh, who is it?
Incognito. Nobody's going to know. It's Angela Barnes in a wig.
I thought you were going to say it's Angela Lansbury, and that would have been a massive compliment.
It would have been, wouldn't it? Oh, we
really
can solve the
would.
mystery tonight. But the mystery is, who's the next guest, Jenny?
I think I've cracked the case. I've got it's 1 in 3 chance of me being right. I don't know what order you're introducing people in.
I don't either. Let's find out together. It is the songbird, the Essex legend. Kate Martin's nodding. It's not you, babe. The remarkable talent, Jordan Gray, everyone. Yeah,
Good evening, hello. Yeah, can I have points for that, thanks?
How was your trip down the aisle?
It was exciting, although I didn't get married at the end.
Oh, well, there's still time. Yes.
Yeah, we're working our way towards it, aren't we?
Yeah. Honestly, she knows how to get points at me. There's no game she hasn't won. Spoilers. It's this early on. All right, we've teased you with her, so we might as well bring her on now. She is the woman with the biggest wingspan in comedy. Without a doubt. She's also hilarious. It's not just about the wingspan, it's the size of her entry. Kate Martin, everybody! I wasn't wrong.
I'm not going to show my entry on Next Up, just to be clear.
You were high-fiving people 3 deep on each side of the aisle there. It was very impressive.
Scuff the wall.
And we could not do Comedy Arcade without him. He is the Alan Davis to my Sandy Toksvig. It is Rich Wilson, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
How's your day been, Rich?
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you very much. Thanks for asking. I've not been drinking for a while, and then today I had a drink. This could go either way.
Well, should we find out?
Yes.
Right, let's roll the ball. Now,
Wow.
in post-production, obviously, we'll just superimpose a little ball coming down here. But the ball is number 25, which I've got written on the sheet. You don't get to
Production
look.
values are insane.
I think that's what makes it.
Insane. Honestly, it's
I cannot tell you how sweaty this cape is. Right.
Sorry.
Not a euphemism.
Is that a euphemism? Because we've talked about how to use talcum powder.
Am I the only one here about a sweaty cape?
Not from where I'm looking.
Hey!
Also, I've got a secret to tell you, Rich. I mean, Les, it's 2022. Did you just remember? Because that's a massive compliment.
I forgot.
That is a compliment.
And the category is.
I totally forgot.
That's a beautiful thing. Yay!
Yeah, fine.
We haven't got time. Right, petty grievances. Oh.
Hello? What, am I going first?
Is there anything that you feel a grievance towards in a petty nature, Richard?
Richard's forgotten everything.
Yeah.
Is it being
One drink, everyone. One drink.
is it being put on the spot by a
Yeah, I
co-host?
didn't know I was going to be asked to go first. I was.
You didn't have to. You weirdly volunteered.
Well, silently.
I just got a vibe from you that you
Good
had a
job.
lot of petty grievances.
Yeah, grievances. Yeah, do you know what, right? So I bought some tank top, right? I thought I was going for a Northern Soul kind of vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like that old kind of mod, kind of spinning around on the talcum powder. Someone said, "Hello, Jimmy Tarbuck." I'm like, I'm glad you laughed at that. I look at the young faces. You're like, who the fuck's Jimmy Tarbuck?
Yeah, you told me you were going to wear that, and I went, "Oh, that's nice." And
I'll
you-
bring you a jacket.
As
is
an
what you said.
option. It was just an option.
I'd like to take a moment to thank tonight's sponsor, talcum powder.
No, it's just I used to wear them when I was in my early 20s, so I thought it made my waist look thinner by having a layer over the top. But I looked like a proper, if you looked it up in the dictionary, lesbian. A stocky little lesbian.
It does make you look very boxy.
I was a little, I was a unit.
So your petty grievance you put onto me because I was wearing this,
Yeah,
and then you got the arms.
it's clearly
You're livid.
well
Look at your
hidden
face.
trauma.
It's absolutely livid at my sartorial choices. And then you're annoyed as well, aren't you?
It's not. I mean, I'm not going to put it to vote because I don't want to do that to you. But I don't think I'm on my own.
All right, let's put it. Put it to a vote. Put it to a vote.
When you, yes.
Who likes my tank top? Yay! Look at that. Yeah, you see. Who?
I thought it was a comedy. There was some Asian vibe there in the audience as well.
For the people at home, yeah.
Under 30, I would say, were get their hands firmly down. And nostalgia for everybody else.
What's a tank top?
What's
All the
that?
lesbians in the room like it's a fucking hate crime.
I'm showing I'm an ally. I'm an ally. That's why I put it on.
All right, so we've got a petty grievance for and against the tank top. No one got any points for that. Any advance on that?
I begrudge having to have a fire alarm in my house. Please stay with me on this, right? It's the thing about fire alarms. They're good for one thing, which is the sensing of a fire. And that's a good thing to have, a sensor for. But, right, don't make me have a fire alarm in my house if, like, it's a mandatory piece of government-sanctioned equipment. Don't make me have one if it can't tell the difference between a blazing inferno and a standard English breakfast. A piece of toast is the most common breakfast, and it goes off every time I have a piece of toast. What do I do about it? I can't knock it off the ceiling. It's like a little Nazi barnacle up there. What do you do? It judges me. I don't like it at all.
Nazi barnacle. That's right.
Well, that's the episode
There's
title
no
done.
smokers on fire. I mean, I dare say there's probably a vote I'm going to lose, but who thinks fire alarms are a good idea? Raise your hand.
No one.
Oh, half and half. Half of us are going to hell. Where a fire alarm will be very necessary.
What's the crossover from the Venn diagram of people who like tank tops and people who like fire?
We'll find
Something
out.
I would quite like to burn right now, but
Straight men. Just straight men.
harsh but fair, I think. Harsh but fair.
This is what equality looks like. There we are.
Yeah, we had to have one token white straight man on just for ratios. He's
Just doing my bit.
and he'll be wonky by the time he gets off, I reckon. You guys are
I'll be what, sorry, one at a time? What?
a bit wonky.
I'm already a bit wonky.
Oi. Petty grievances.
I don't have any petty grievances.
All right.
All of my grievances are
Grievous.
very grievous, deep-seated, and completely reasonable.
All right.
Now-
Give us one of them.
Okay, class 4, St Thomas of Canterbury Primary School.
So far, so reasonable.
It was class 4, but it was year 3. I'm not saying it was a perfect system. We definitely didn't have a perfect teacher, Mrs. Greenhalgh. Yeah.
No names.
That bitch.
So I would say I was 7, and this was probably the first joke I ever came up with by myself was to name my cat Napoleon. Get it? Cat's Nip and Napoleon.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say it was good. I was all right. Everyone's a critic now. You're criticising a 7-year-old
I'm gonna give you some
Attempt at
pity
humour.
points here.
attempt at being a smart ass as well, which doesn't sound like me at all. And the assignment was to write an essay. Probably every other kid probably did 2 sentences about their pet. I did a side of A4 because that was the kind of child I was. And
You're
when
the
I
only
got,
person with a notebook here.
you've got a notebook. Oh, you're keeping score, aren't you? But I will say, it is a rainbow notebook.
Oh.
Thank you. I got the brief.
Says, remember tank top. That's all he's got here. That's all he's got here.
And you did.
Thank you.
So Mrs. Greenhalgh handed my essay back, and I'd not got a good score for it. I'd in fact got a frowny face because I'd misspelled Napoleon. Now I had to go and explain the joke to her, which means it was not a very good joke. I had to explain it to you, so it's still no better.
No vindication
3
for you
decades
tonight.
later. I'm just aggrieved that she didn't appreciate that a child in her class understood the concept of Napoleon, who hadn't been covered in the syllabus. I would hasten to add. I have found out about Napoleon under my own steam and come up with a joke about it and made it a permanent fixture in my house. So, Mrs. Greenhalgh, if I ever see you again. I won't.
I guess
she
we'll
is
show
dead.
this
She
show.
is dead.
How old was she then?
She was, at the time, she could have been anywhere from 45 to 95. All I knew was she was my friend's grandma, and she had grey hair.
She's gone.
And wore a beautiful tank top.
I'm gone.
The thing is, though, in year 4, she could have been 25 and you would have thought she's 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reference point I had was that she was a grandma at the time, but knowing where I grew up, she could have been 25. No joke. So yeah, but I don't bear grudges.
No.
That's not petty though. That's not petty. That's real.
Speaking of cat names, all right, I have to admit, as a lesbian, I don't have cats, and I know that I should. I know it's part. I know it's part of the rules. Sorry.
Quick, Rich, give her your tank top before she's stripped of a lesbianism.
I've got flat, comfortable shoes on. We're okay. Okay, we're fine.
Still need cats though.
No, so I do need cats. Thing is, though, I nearly got cats during the lockdown, mainly because I thought of 2 good names for cats. Kidney Houston and Harry J. Blige. Come on. I just don't think that's a good enough reason to get cats.
Yeah,
Is it?
Absolutely.
Okay, the lesbians at the back have spoken. Sorry. Can someone call Battersea? I'm on my own. I'm afraid I've got to go.
Oh dear.
That fucking killed it, didn't it? Great.
That's what we've got the ball for, though. We just keep it moving.
Show me balls.
Okay, tonight. Well, we talked about pussy. We've talked a
Several
lot.
times.
Not on next
Stop
up.
lowering the tone.
I shan't. And that's why we're going to segue straight into dating stories. These are just things I want to ask comedians that I like.
I really think I should have my own sort of bingo ball distributor for this particular one. I've got so many.
Over to you, babe. You tell a story. Come on, over to you. One of 400 stories, I'm sure.
I've already told you about Spider Leg Man, haven't I?
Yeah, all
Yeah, I
because they
can't
all
repeat
listen
that.
to the podcast,
Yeah.
so they've heard that story before.
You know, it's Spider Leg Man, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God,
Some people are in the dark about Spider Leg Man. What's Spider Leg Man, briefly?
He got bitten by a radioactive spider leg.
he got kicked by a radioactive spider leg.
That's going to be the next Disney Plus series.
No, that was a gentleman who had on his dating profile on. I'm going to show my demographic here. Guardian Soulmates. When it was a website, there was no apps
When it was
then.
still going, you mean?
When it was still going, I didn't have to go through the pages in the little guidebook, but I couldn't just look at my phone. Bebo. This was pre-Bebo, my friend. This was a gentleman who'd claimed on his profile to be 6'4", and when I went to meet him, he was sitting down, and our eye level was exactly the same. And I thought, this man is a liar. How long do I stay? And I stayed for a little bit, and then he got up to buy some drinks, and I thought, okay, things are looking up. And he got up, and his legs unfurled. He had some of the longest legs you've ever seen on a human being.
Like
And
he was made by Tim Burton, they just sort of rolled.
Yeah. He was 6'4", 6'4",
But
and
all
a
legs.
little bit, and yeah.
What was the little bit?
The date didn't go that badly. I found out.
Spider cock man.
I imagine he was sat there like that Supergrass video with the puppets. Remember that?
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. In fact, the arms weren't as long though, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
It'd been interesting if
Yeah.
you'd been there.
So if you splice me and
Splicing
you
together.
have the perfect little body ratio.
A
his
very
legs.
imperfect, really. I mean, that's not practical to have such long legs and but the same body size as me, which is
for
not.
us.
Yeah.
Take us to a gig or a festival, Lost Friends meeting point. There you go.
Mobile phone reception as well.
Lovely,
Lovely, yeah.
I wonder,
Oh,
if
it's
he, I wonder if he left it a long time to reveal the legs because he's used to height truthers from online dating, and then everyone's
No, I think he just was impolite and didn't stand up to greet me
didn't
like
buy
a
a drink,
gentleman.
just sat there until he needed a wee.
No.
What a prick.
No, but I could tell you a recent date story. A brief one. No,
I'll allow it.
I'd had my heart broken slightly by somebody. I was getting a little bit fixated about this failed relationship, and they'd made me cry. They'd made me cry on Halloween, which I think is a spell in itself. And I thought, you know what?
I think this is a petty grievance.
There is going to be a link between all of my anecdotes. They're all grievances, but none of them are petty.
All right. So Halloween, you're there.
So I
Pre-cry.
decided, in my misery, I was going to get over him. It's the quickest way. Tinder. Download Tinder. Got on Tinder. Within 20 minutes, it recommended to me the guy who broke my heart. He was on there, and the next person who matched with me is a story for another time. To keep you listening to the podcast. Come on.
We don't need a reason to keep listening.
They're all here. The
It's
gang's
the
all
people
here.
at home. The people at home. We don't
Yeah.
know.
We're running every night at Edinburgh Fringe. One of those nights could have Jenny. You'll have to come to find out. All 24 nights. Kate, dating story?
Well, I'm going to tell a dating story about me and Rich in a minute. But Tinder,
surprise.
you just mentioning Tinder has made me remember. So when you're a middle-aged lesbian, there are like the stereotype that all lesbians move in after a second date, right? Is an awful stereotype because it's fucking true, right? And this means on Tinder, it's like friend, ex-friend, out of matches. Like it. Gone. There are none left, right? And then like Tinder has a bit of a moment, it doesn't know what to do with itself. Then you're like, reset the settings to anybody in the UK or the EU who's still got a pulse, still breathing, and then you're like, oh, swipe, friend's mum. Well, awkward but not insurmountable.
Is that the story for Rich?
No, this is not. No.
Have you dated Rich's mum?
Yeah. Not just dating, I swear not. Who's your daddy, Rich? Who's your daddy? But then...
Cyberbullying.
We've made fun of what you're wearing, and now we're doing your mum jokes.
Listen, I'm just doing my bit to rebalance
Is this
everything.
equality?
Yeah, well, no.
Anyway, but then what Tinder does is, because Tinder cannot cope, it has a meltdown, it cannot cope with not being any matches, so then it does this, it's like friend, ex, man. And you're like, yeah, Tinder just has to give you matches, and these are, straight cis men looking for women, and you're like, Tinder. In the middle of Pride Month, let me just explain what a lesbian actually is. Do you know what I mean? And that's it, it just starts throwing men in, just to get you... Anyway, that's how me and Rich met. No. I was the top. I think we can all agree. He's only little, bless him. Not in that way. Yeah, so, the wonderful, handsome, charming Rich Wilson is dating a fabulous, very funny comedian called Kate McGann.
Yes.
And a gig a while ago, a friend of ours said to us that they'd been speaking to the promoter of the night, and they said, "How's Rich doing?" And she was like, "Oh my God, him and Kate are so happy." And this promoter then looked really confused and went, "Kate, Rich and Kate are together? What? Do you mean that whole lesbian thing is just an act?"
He's a straight white man, isn't it?
And so
I'm that good.
there is now one of two rumours circulating. One is that I'm basically a total con artist and I do this just for the fucking crack of it, or that Rich Wilson is such a fucking legend that he's turned a lifelong sausage dodger.
And we haven't done anything to sound like quash those rumours, have we? We've kind of gone, yeah, fuck it. all
I'm
right,
fueling
fine.
them everywhere I go. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm confirming them everywhere I go. I know, it's
Me and
weird,
Rich.
isn't it? When love is love, guys. Love is love. What can I say?
Honestly, I have dated women with more facial hair than you, so it's not. It's not out of the league. It's not out of the league.
It's the only reason I transitioned, because I know he's into women. He was very clear about that.
See, we can be nice as well.
Yeah. Can we? Is that what that was?
I'm waiting. What's the next bit? Yeah. There we go.
Facebook thinks I'm a gay man. I get adverts all the time, like...
Yeah, I mean, at least.
No, men appropriated this. Sequins are for everyone. But yeah, it's like hot twinks for you. I'm pretty sure they're not for me. I mean, I think we'd have a lovely night out, but I don't think I'm what they want. Dating story, Jordan?
Yeah, like, I'd done this TV show about, 10 years ago. Yeah, so I'm a transgender person. This is before I was a woman, so I was a man.
Rich is like, what?
And it's a singing show, and my sort of acting manager at the time was like, "You're gonna go on TV and sing?" I was like, "That's all very exciting. Yes, I shall do that." And I showed up to the rehearsal and we sang, and there's 10 of us, and then I was picked, and then I had to sing a song with a lady, half of a duet with a lady. At which point the producer said, "This is a dating show with a bit of singing involved." Both of us had thought it was a singing show, and then we paired up to date. We had to date on television. And it was really nice. We'd done this duet. We'd done, that Mel B song with, what's his name? Brian Adams. I've been watching you up and... Won't sing more than 5 seconds because we've got to clear it with next up. But then the weird bit is we had to go on a date. It was all laid out, we've agreed on TV. But then they didn't film the date. So we just had to go on a date.
Go on the date? That's so weird.
just sitting there for no reason. We got paired together to be on TV, and we're just there, like, why are we here? There's no cameras. We're just chatting to each other in Manchester. We had sex though. Which, again, weren't filmed. That wasn't filmed either.
Were you disappointed by that as well?
Did you take a point off because I had sex with somebody else? What did you say? No. That's my dating story. It's my ego
it's a great
thinking I was going to be a massive singing superstar. Just had sex in Manchester instead.
That's a good date though.
Yeah, Oasis done both those things. So that's good.
I can't believe you haven't told people you've been on The Voice yet.
Oh, imagine
This
if I was
has been
talking
the
about The
longest-
Voice that whole time.
It's been the longest time since records began. Yeah, it was Paloma Faith, by the way.
Yeah.
That was the woman.
I did not have sex. I didn't have sex with Paloma Faith in Manchester. It's in Birmingham.
Where did you have in Berlin? You had sex with?
No, that's not true. None of them things.
Tell everyone.
I did The Voice, but this was not The Voice. It's a show called Sing Date on Sky Living HD.
Oh, in
Wow,
HD.
in HD. Ooh.
You could see everything.
Apart from the sex, yeah.
Yeah, but waste of HD if you ask me. We got up to some naughty things. She's proper kinky. Also, I've completely... There's no way of disguising who she is now because that's actually on record. I'm really sorry about that. You're a nice person if you're watching. Also, this is all just a... this could all just be a lie for entertainment, couldn't it? It ain't,
Maybe,
but
maybe
could
we
be.
made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich, have you got any dating stories for the love of God?
I've never had sex with Paloma Faith, I'll tell you that much. There was once, it was at a school disco, and I was...
Were you
Hang on a minute, I just wandered in. What's going on here then, kid? With my tank top on, hello. Oh yeah, there's a party in town. Yeah, he wasn't like that. I was supposed to be there. I was at school at the time. Not as a caretaker. I was meant to be there. And I was stood at the side, and everyone was snogging and dancing. It's not that bad, mate. He feels triggered. I was there. So I was at the side, and everyone was dancing and snogging and doing what they do. And then there's a girl came up called Lisa King. Lisa King was like one of the top girls in the whole school. You get the cool bunch. All right? Yeah, Lisa King. And she came flying up, and she just started snogging me without even asking who I was. She just went bam, right? And she was quite tall as well. And she just went right. And it was like, wow, this is incredible. I'm getting snogged by one of the top girls in the school. It's fucking great.
Where did you get that tank top? That's what she said.
She said, I love a man without sleeves. A sleeveless man. Anyway. So then, we swapped numbers and all that, and she was like, okay, and this is in the days of landlines, so, it's like, yeah, all right, exciting, right? So then Mum says, oh, Lisa's phoned you. So I phoned Lisa, and I'm all excited. I'm like, Lisa's phoned me, this is amazing. And she went, I was just phoning you to say, I think you'd be really good with my friend. And she paired me with her mate. And
You had sex in Manchester?
I had sex with Jordan. And we used Paloma Faith as a condom. It was
Paloma, I'm
that's
really
probably
sorry.
too far for next up.
I'm really
I believe.
sorry about
That's
this
too,
happening.
yeah. Can we edit this? No, this is live, isn't it?
We've strayed quite far
Whatever
away
happened to
from
Rich?
the
Whatever happened to
bar.
Rich Wilson? We don't talk about it so much.
Yeah. All right.
Roll the balls, for God's sake.
Oh, look what number it is.
Look at that CGI.
It's Celebrity Encounters.
I don't know if you've heard about Manchester. Exciting. No. I'll do one. Celebrity encounter.
You all have to do it.
What's the category?
Celebratory encounters. Celebrity encounters.
Oh, well, you could tell this story. We were both there.
Right, they do say don't meet your heroes, right? I met Levi Roots, right? This guy he was on Dragon's Den and he created. We've got so many nodding people in the audience right now. He invented the reggae sauce, didn't he? Reggae sauce. It's like it's called a proponent of Jamaican music, and he created reggae sauce. And I met him at a gig I was doing at the O2, and it's all very exciting. And I went up to him, and I didn't want to be that dickhead that's like, oh, I like your sauce, right? So I thought, what I'd do is I shall compliment him on another aspect of his life, like so he feels like I'm a proper fan, right? So I was like, mate, I love that song that you do. That's a good song, right? And he went, which one? Right? No, but here's the thing. As if he's got more than one song that we all know, which is the reggae sauce song. And I didn't want to be like, again, you've only got one song, mate. So I went, the reggae song. I really like that. And it's all weird. And then he left. And I goes to my manager at the time. I was like, I think I've upset Levi Roots. This story, by the way, at this juncture, I will say, does not paint me in the best light. He goes, I said, I think I've upset Levi Roots. Can you go talk to him? And he went, where is he? And I went, he's over there. And he went, that's Wycliffe Jean. Why the fuck would Levi Roots be here? No, please remember that. I'd take points off myself for that because I was 18 and a dickhead. I am sorry. But what's really sweet is he didn't go because of course when he goes like, what song? He's thinking he's got quite a repertoire of songs, you know. And I went, that reggae one. And to his credit, he just let me get on with it. So
He probably maybe he's done a lot of drugs and he thought, I don't remember that one, but it might be.
Wycliffe, you're amazing, mate. I'm really sorry I've done that to you. Also, Levi Roots, your sauce is fine.
Does that put you off the sauce then, that?
I got sad then when I thought of that, because that was a real thing that happened to me. It was really sad. Because it makes me seem an awful person. Sort of am, I suppose.
No, you just caught up.
Me not knowing is the thing that makes me awful. You didn't know, I know.
You didn't know.
But you thought you knew. That's the worst bit. I once met someone from Home and Away who I fancied in a club in Cardiff, and he was in the show Godspell. Yeah, exciting. You know, he's got range. Boy's got range. Home and Away on the beach in the shorts. Actor. And I thought I'd lie. We were getting on all right, actually. And I was like, yeah, I love Godspell. Love doing it. And he went, what character did I play? And I was like, take a punt, Vix, biblical figures. And my mind went blank and I went, I can't remember. He literally played Jesus. I would have remembered that one, wouldn't I?
I bet it was cross.
But the audience point. Who would you like to allocate that point to? So an audience member said, I bet he was cross. For the people at home. The next episode. Who do you want to give the point to?
Yourself.
I can't win this. My game. I'm the real winner here. These are all just my performing little puppets. It's great.
Pick one, anyone. Go on.
I'll give it to Rich because he's behind.
Nothing new.
Finish with at least 1 point, doesn't he? So that's fair.
I once had.
I had. Strap in, everyone.
I had Caleb Followill from Kings of Leon, the lead singer. I had his hair in my mouth once. Wait.
Tell us more.
It was still attached to his head. A friend of mine. If you shut the fuck up, we'll get there. This is why they don't give cocaine out on the fucking door.
Which we didn't do, by the way. This is a lovely establishment.
It's a lovely establishment. Thank you. Right, so, friend of mine, Will Briggs. His sister was looking after Kings of Leon when they first came over, when they were good. And Sex on Fire, I could get in the bin. That is a shit song. Come on. Right? Right, hands up who likes Sex on Fire.
I don't like being on fire.
There you go.
When did this
Who
become
doesn't
8
like
out of
Sex
10
on
cats?
Fire?
Like, what's going on here?
Who doesn't care about it either way? Anyway.
A non-sequitur.
Anyway, right? So I'm in the. So my friend, he said, oh, my sister's looking after Kings of Leon. Do you want to come and meet him? So we went to. It used to be called Pop. It was just off of Charing Cross, Oxford Street, a little indie club, right? So we go there. I'm in the booth, right? And Kings of Leon are sat over there. We're having a bit of a drink, and then Will comes over and he said, "Come and meet him. Come and meet him. So I'm walking over, and I'm in my head. I'm going, right. Just say like, all right, lads, just looking forward to the album. I'm looking forward to the album. Right? And I walked up behind Caleb, and I went, hey man, and he went like that, and he flicked his hair, and it went in my mouth, and I went, hey man, and he went, oh, dude. And I went, yeah, looking forward to the album. And then I went, and it was clean, it smelled lovely. Vosine, I think. Yeah.
Is that a good...
1996.
Yeah, all right, mate.
That's the last time they were
70s,
cool.
mate.
All right?
Well, I've just thought rather. I was going to tell a story about the time I got my tits out for Keith Chegwin, but I've just. When I looked around the
I
room,
think this
I
is
Don't
fine.
need any more than that.
that
actually.
everybody's too young to probably know who Keith Chegwin is.
Are you just trying to flirt with every single person in this room?
Hands up, who knows who Keith Chegwin is?
Was.
Okay, well, all
Oh,
right.
checkers. Is he dead?
Do you remember? He is
Yes.
now. God rest his soul.
What a way to find out. Wow.
Did you not know that already?
It's been years.
Anyway, do you remember he used to do that weird
Kate killed
naked
him.
like show on Channel 4 or something like that? Do you remember? I don't know. Naked Jungle. Oh, weird. Didn't realise it was called that. Anyway, we're at a gay club in Manchester. It was my birthday. I was slightly drunk, maybe after a few too many shots, all the rest of it. And Keith Chegwin was there doing some weird kind of like
Nightclub PA.
nightclub PA type
Yeah.
stuff. There was a little stage. I was basically floating around after far too many shots, not really knowing where I was. And the next thing I know, I'm on the stage and Keith Chegwin puts a microphone in my mouth and says, your mates have said you'll get your tits out for a T-shirt. And I was like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, I have never sobered up so quickly in my entire life when I'm looking around this whole room of people going, you going to do it? I was like, no. And then my friend ran up and went, don't embarrass me, do it. Don't make a fool of me. And then he lifted my T-shirt up.
He did.
He did. It was fine. They were so small at the time, my nips poked out my back, no one could see them. Do you know what I mean? It was fine. Anyway, I got off the stage. Next morning, I woke up on my friend's couch being like, that was such a weird fucking dream. Like, oh my God. And I looked down and I saw the T-shirt was like, ah! It wasn't even a good T-shirt. It didn't even say Keith Chegwin on it.
Didn't say on
Thank you for the shock.
Didn't say on it.
It was like Blue Wicked or something shit.
Have you still got it?
I burnt it, honestly. I was just like, the trauma.
You don't get points for trauma, it's Comedy Arcade.
It was funny trauma.
I think that should be
I
a
think that's
spin-off,
stand-up
though.
comedy, actually. You don't get points for trauma, it's Comedy Arcade.
It was funny trauma.
I think that should be
I
a
think that's
spin-off,
stand-up
though.
comedy, actually.
Therapy Arcade.
Yeah.
Therapy Arcade. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
let's do that.
All right. Well,
Not
I
bad.
will give you a point. Yeah, come on, man.
Thank you. You can all join in that chant. Points. Not points. Thank you. Plural.
Jenny.
Okay, celebrity encounters. I've been going back through the archives. I'm going to go all the way back very briefly. The first celebrity I ever encountered, I'm expecting two people in the room to understand this. Brian Jacks.
Yeah.
Those are the two people, yes. Those are the two people I expected.
The judo fella.
The judo fella. There is a photo of me as a toddler.
Superstar.
Yeah. And he was world champion of judo.
He used to live round.
That's Brian Jack.
Yeah. He was
He used to
famous.
live round the corner from me.
There we go. So I met him, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I love the relatable reference.
Well, but I knew my audience. There were just two of them, but I knew them. One of them's on the panel.
She's got one for each of you, a story. We'll get through them all tonight.
Back in the day, I used to work in a shop which retailed CDs and videos. It did have a 3-letter name. And
This is not the BBC.
it's not the BBC, and it's not HMV.
Oh, MVC.
Other record shops are still no longer available. It went out of business. This is how long ago it was. Again, people are guessing how old I am from my references, Brian Jacks, and the fact that we used to rent videos when I started working there. VHSs. DVDs came in while I was working there. Oh, and they were we had to put all sorts of security in place on those. One of our semi-regular customers was a gentleman called Ryan Giggs, out of the footballs.
Wow.
He's a wrong 'un for many ways.
Well,
tell us why
exactly.
you think he's a wrong 'un.
So I feel at liberty to slag him off.
Yeah.
So we used to have a
Seen his
system.
DVDs.
Has anybody ever shopped at MVC?
Yeah.
Just 4 people. Wonderful. So before club card discounts were a thing, we had a loyalty card system. So you would basically get £1 off each album.
The shittest
There was
catch and carry in the world.
an ordinary price, and then there was an MVC cardholder's price. The card was free to get. You just had to basically give us your life details so we could flog them to China, I guess.
Other countries are.
I don't know what happened. I was just the 18-year-old conduit. That's another title for the show.
18-year-old conduit.
So Ryan Giggs would come in and browse, but he would never. You used to have a loyalty card, but some people didn't, so you could look them up on the system. If you got the postcode, if you got the surname, as you do in other shops now, where they pester you for info.
Pre-data protection days.
No one gave a shit.
Just write it on this
Back
card
then.
and pop it in that pile.
That's how they just called the bad guys.
Stranger Things 4, didn't they? Eh? No?
You just ruined that for a lot of people.
Oh,
It's
God, it
true.
only just come out, didn't it? Not bad. That didn't happen at all.
You should have watched the first half of season 4 by now, if you were ever
true.
going to. It is in that. So yeah, a very similar thing happened.
Sorry.
So you had to give your details to get the discount. Ryan Giggs did not give a shit about the discount. However, you had definitely to give your card details if you wanted to rent a video, like you did at Blockbuster. So he would use his girlfriend's details. Exactly. The one who lived near the store. But it meant that we could then look up his purchase history. Details. Exactly. The one who lived near the store. But it meant that we could then look up his purchase history. So the first couple of times he came in, he made this big fuss with me about, I don't have a card, I'm not going to give you my details, and being that I really don't like Man United, I would kicked off with him every single time. And then the manager had to come out, who was a big Man United fan, and grovelled in front of him. So I enjoyed that other aspect as well, making my manager subservient. It was lovely. But I found out through observing him, so I would look at his purchase history as he was browsing the DVDs, because obviously he went straight to the DVDs because he had a DVD player, because he had money. And he would buy a huge basket full of DVDs. Every time he came in, he bought Rocky. He forgot which DVDs he on. He had at least 4 copies of Heat.
That's absolutely
And
brilliant.
I never warned him about this. Yeah, I thought, I'll let it slide. He's got the money.
Babes, you've already got this one. Maybe just buying them as gifts for friends.
It's not got friends, babe. That's why he was in MVC on a Wednesday afternoon. Didn't have anything else to do other than go and buy the same DVDs over and again.
Flaunting his DVDs.
There you go.
we go.
Flaunting that he had. Yeah, and when Blu-ray came out, then we don't mention it. End of anecdote.
Lovely. They've got security tags on cheese near where we live. That's a thing.
That's the sign of the times.
Yeah, cheese. Not even Cathedral City, like own brand stuff.
Dairy Lee. Oh, a Dunker. Oh, they're valuable there. The kids. Oh no. What now? She'll roll the ball. What is it?
The category is travel.
Oh,
Travel. You've
So-
travelled, Rich.
I have travelled. I've been very lucky to have travelled thanks to my comedy career. And there's one gig I had to do. I did some gigs for some soldiers abroad, and so morally I was kind of you're making money from war, and you're like, should I go? Is it it's not good, is it, to do that? And then they told me how much, and I was like, all right then. So, turns out I can be bought.
I'll be the
And,
forces sweetheart for these guys.
And then Oh yeah, Memphis Belle on the side of a van. So anyway, so then what they do, they have to train you for in case something happens. And then the fella was training us, and he was saying things like, if you are walking through the airport, say, and you feel like you're being followed, just keep walking, and then suddenly turn around and walk back the other way towards the person you think is following you. And then when you get to your hotel room, make sure that you take a doorstop with you. So when you get into your hotel, if you think you're being followed, then you shove the doorstop under your door, and it stops people coming in. And then I was like, I don't know how long it takes to be James Bond. I'm sure it takes longer than an afternoon in a porter cabin near Luton. I don't know much about espionage, but I'm pretty sure that I'm like, if I'm going to get followed, I'm getting killed.
Rich, welcome to the lovely world of being a woman.
Wow.
We don't even get a training course.
All right, mate, keep it light.
No.
Anyway, right.
You started it with that tank top, fella.
Anyway, this is what happened. I was so worried in the airport about getting followed. I was looking behind me, and I walked the wrong way up the travelator. Like, yeah, it was coming that, and I went that way. And have you seen the videos where people go over and then they fall out of their shoes? My bag went over, my shoes came off, and then I'm rolling on the travelator, and then everyone had to come and help me. I'm the shittest James Bond has ever been. I was just rolling, going, help me! Yeah, shoes. When those videos when their shoes come off, it knocked him out of his shoes. Is the funny when they fall on a treadmill. Then they put the treadmill really fast, and then they jump on it, and then their shoes go up in the air and spin around. There was one who just said, "There is an easier way to take off your shoes."
Wardrobe issue.
What's going on here?
There's a wardrobe issue, there's the pen issue. That's the effect that anecdote had over here.
I was laughing so much at the idea of me falling over that I broke my head.
I've been sitting here deeply trying to visualise that.
Imagine what would happen if Vic saw you fall over like that. Oh, I think.
I've never recovered.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Do a little live reenactment.
Retire.
There's escalators out there.
I'll do it on the way out. Yeah. I'll be looking around going, oh no, I hope I'm not followed.
Bonus concept.
And then you just fall out your clothes and then...
Right. You. Travel.
Quick little story about travel. Travel's good, isn't it? Travel broadens the mind. And also, potentially, the old libido. Because it's quite exotic, isn't it, travelling? It's a nice thing to do.
I've been to Swindon.
I got I'm a stand-up comedian, and often I'll do this bit because I'm like transgender and that. I'll find like a heterosexual couple in the audience, and I'll make a little joke about inserting myself into their sex life because, of course, I'm very versatile. I'm like a sexual Swiss Army knife. I've got like something for both participants, and it's always
some people taking stones out of horses' hooves.
That's all I use it for.
Yeah.
And it's always, obviously, it's a bit, it's a joke. I don't have that high an opinion of myself that it'd be that easy. But like, I was in Barcelona, and I says to the crowd, I was like, I'm not joking though, I'm being serious. Also a joke, right? And then this couple comes up for the first time in my entire life and career, and was like, we really enjoyed that, and we'd quite like to see where this goes. And I was with my wife. Right? So, and also, imagine the type of person, imagine in your head the couple that you think came up and asked that. It weren't that couple, right? They were so gorgeous, this couple, right? It's like beautiful, beautiful people.
I was going with those "we will adopt your baby."
Right. No, these are they were nice and they were really respectful of it. It was proper nice. And I was with my wife as well, and I was like, well, if we were open to the idea, it'd be very exciting. And we sort of agreed. But I don't know if I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you. I just. Has been in a situation where a foursome has been 100% on the table, but you had to decline because your wife ate too much gelato that day. It's like she'd never seen gelato before, and she had about 8 bowls of gelato, and we weren't allowed to have sex with this nice couple because of it. Fuck travel.
Could she not have just watched or something?
Well, that's what I said. No, she didn't want to. She's all self-conscious because she's all bloated because of the gelato.
You see, as a lesbian, we get this a lot, right? So you get like couples being like, you know, do you want to join us? And you're like, no. And then they go, it's all right, he'll just watch. Oh, because that's what a lesbian wants. That's what I grew. Oh, mother, when I meet the woman of my dreams, I just really hope there's a man sat there in the corner watching.
But now you have the gelato excuse.
Now I have the, I've eaten too much gelato.
Got that in your back pocket. I'm going to use that. Definitely going to use that.
Probably only works in hot countries.
Oh, no, you've not seen me eat gelato all times of year.
Imagine just being in Swindon, I've had too much gelato today. Sorry.
Travel?
Well, to the next threesome story. Actually, to talk about good travelling for gigging, so I was gigging up in Liverpool the other week, and I looked, and I normally drive, but for whatever reason I took the train this time, which meant I had to stay over, and I was trying to find a hotel to stay. It's Friday night, and for some reason, Liverpool's really fucking expensive on a Friday night, right? Who knows why? I'm from Manchester, I'm allowed the competitiveness. Anyway, so I looked on, and just round the corner from the club was a hostel, and I was like, that's the only affordable place I can stay. There was one private room left for 50 quid at this hostel. I was like, I'll book it quick. Went to book it, it had gone, and the only room left was one bed in an all-female dorm, right? Now, look, I'm 6'1" and I look like this, right? So wherever I go, people look out the corner of my eye and call me sir, or women will very quickly walk out of a woman's toilet and go, shit, sorry, I thought this was the ladies, right? So this happens all the time. I come to expect it. It's fine. What I wasn't prepared for was sneaking into a dorm, tiptoeing to be considerate into an all-female dorm, looking like this. And then, right, I was expecting it to be like full of Hindus. It wasn't. It was just one single old Spanish lady who was about 60, and she's chatting away on FaceTime, and I'm like tiptoeing in, which probably looked quite creepy in hindsight. Tiptoeing in, trying to be polite, and all of a sudden, she catches me out of the corner of her eye, pulls the bedclothes up, and goes, "Es un hombre." Es un hombre. Now, my Spanish isn't fucking brilliant, but I did do enough Duolingo in lockdown to be like, and I was like, shit. I really panicked because I was like, this woman is like terrified now, like that there's a bloke in her room. So I was the worst feminist and was just trying to be like, what do women do? And I was like,
Hang on, I'm just going to make some notes.
I was trying to do like everything. I pulled my top aside, and I was like, well, that's not going to fucking help. Trying to do everything, and then this poor woman, basically, she turns. I heard her say, and I honestly, guys, I'm really impressed with my level of Spanish skills actually, because I do not know how I managed to translate this. Because then she kind of looks at me a bit more, and she goes, oh, it's okay. Es una lesbiana. Which I was kind of glad about, but like, that word is fucking global, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Oh my god. And I just lay there all night, like, petrified, bless her.
Right, you've only got a minute, Jenny, to get your story out.
Well, I'm just going to go for the sympathy vote, because I didn't really get to travel internationally until I was a bit older. Yes. Single parent family, miserable trips to Blackpool, basically. Until I was 11, and then I went to Menorca. Went to Crete. I thought I was a proper world traveller. Next holiday, India. Obviously, it's the obvious choice. Well, to take a 12-year-old travelling around Rajasthan, and I thought it was wonderful. It was a big culture shock, obviously, and we had a day off between tourist sites, and I was lounging outside by the pool. I've never been anywhere so warm, where they would bring you lime soda, just one after another, sweet lime soda, beautiful. And this guy who was on our trip came and started chatting to me. He would say, oh, so where have you been before? Usually I'd say people had done the travel around Egypt first, and then they come here, and then, probably China and Southeast Asia next. Have you been to any of those places? I just thought he was making conversation. And then my stepdad turned up and asked me if I wanted an ice cream. and he was like, oh, this guy, I hadn't realised, because I was 12, this guy was chatting me up, thinking I was a seasoned world traveller, because I was on an mostly adults only group trip to India. And the next day, he looked even more mortified because we went to the Red Fort at Agra, and I almost got kidnapped by a monkey. I was scared off by a monkey that tried to rip my skirt because it thought I was trying to steal its baby. And the way I screamed, it's not the scream of an adult of consenting age.
Thanks for coming.
Well, that's a lot to unpack. We haven't got time for Q&A, I'm afraid. We just have to leave
His face, your face during that story, I wish I could have framed it. Honestly, it was delightful.
The more it's unfolding, I was like,
And then
It's the fact I didn't
then
know
she
I was being
stole a
chatted
monkey's
up.
baby.
I was 12. When I was 13, you possibly could have mistaken me for an 18-year-old. 12. I don't know what was going on there.
Wrong
mate.
un.
I wouldn't mind, but people still hate my tank top more than that.
Right, Rich, I'm going to do the maths on the scores now.
Thank you, I won. It's nice to thank you. I know. I didn't see it coming.
Sit down. Would you like to tell everybody here and the next set people at home who are streaming this live, hopefully, like at least one, where can they find you if they enjoyed this?
You can find me. You find me here now. You can find me on Instagram. I am Rich Wilson. I'm at all the major comedy clubs up and down the country. I shall be at the Edinburgh Festival, Just a Tonic, just up the road, 9:20 every night with my show. You Could Have It So Much Better. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and you could just come around my house if you like. It's fun. Yes. Bring sleeves.
Jordan, where can we find you?
Oh, yeah. Hello, next up. Sorry for spoiling Stranger Things 4. No, I'm not going to say anything. Also, I'm sorry for doing some racism when I was 18 years old. Which is way worse than spoiling Stranger Things 4. I was a dickhead. Yeah, if either of those things are forgivable, which they ain't, you can find me at the old Assembly Rooms, George Square, at 10:25 every night in Edinburgh this year. I got a superhero themed show called Is It a Bird?
I think even Mrs. Greenhouse would have got that one.
High praise indeed. High praise. Jenny.
You can find me on social media, on Twitter at Jen Lyon, on Instagram, someone's already got that, so I am at Jenny from the Quiz. And I will be doing this in Edinburgh, so come and find us wherever we're doing this.
11:20 at Underbelly Bristol Square every day.
Thank you. Thanks. And other than that, at any point in August, I will be drinking some cider somewhere in central Edinburgh, so see you around.
I am on all the socials, it's that Kate Martin, and going to be at Ed Fringe, 10:30 every night, Dragonfly Bar, doing a show with the annoyingly funny Daniel Fox called Existential Queer.
He's infuriating funny.
It's infuriating. You're infuriatingly funny.
Well,
Mum's
thank you all for...
infuriatingly
It's your time you're wasting. And the beautiful people are next up's time as well. We want them to see the end of the show to find out who won. Thank you, all of you, for coming who are here in the room. Exciting that you're here. You're not all my friends and family. That was a nice surprise. And thank you to Next Up for streaming this live. If you're watching Next Up now and you've only gone monthly, you should definitely get the annual pass because they're only bloody streaming Edinburgh Fringe, guys. They only are. Right, Jenny Ryan, you're the winner.
Oh, unaccustomed as I am to winning things.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna be victorious.
it was a close match tonight, actually, despite some negative points at the start. You pulled it back.
Tank tops, mate.
Tank tops for the win. So yeah, what have we learned tonight? Tank tops for the win. Don't chat up 12-year-olds.
Yeah, if you can take that one with you, that'd
Well,
be
yeah.
Tell your
Yeah.
family, no chance, 12-year-old.
Doesn't matter how few options there are on Tinder, you will not get a lesbian to choose a man unless it's Rich Wilson. And trans rights are human rights. That is all from us. You are now free to go.